Nice. All right, let's go.
Brilliant. What a way to start. Hello and welcome to Two Sides of the Pond, where Dwayne hates these, and I quite enjoy them. And hopefully so do you. This is another reaction video, and today we're looking at another film trailer, another one that's come out during the Super Bowl, because that's just happened. And it was shit, but the trailers are cool, although I think Dwayne won't agree. But there we go. But this is Dwayne. He's American. He's over there. I'm over here. And you're over there.
Okay, so let's just clear this up just a little bit. What I hate about this, I don't hate talking to you.
Really?
Unlike,
you sure?
Despite popular opinion, I don't dislike doing reaction videos. What I don't like is all the movies that were really focused hard on during the Super Bowl are not my standard go-to. That is what I hate about this, because I really have to dig and look into it and see if it's something that if I could even talk about. Because normally things like this, I'd be like, yeah, no clue. Like, I would never cream my pants over any of these movies. And I think Matthew has 3 times already. And this trailer, as short as it is, will be the shortest time it'll take for Matthew to come in his pants. Let's go.
Oh, I'm not convinced. But
really,
speaking of, well, we'll see.
All right,
I have some opinions on this. But before we go into that, if you do like the topic of creamy pants, we have got a Patreon for all of our behind the scenes content where things get a lot more spicy. So if you like what we're doing, we have weekly podcasts. We do all sorts of other random bits and pieces as well. Check us out, because there's always something going on. I'm waving my flag about. I like it. So yes, Formula One. Let's do this. So fun fact on this one before we watch the trailer. So this has been filming during the Formula One season last year in 2024. Yes. They're quite often at the majority, I want to say, of Grand Prix doing their own film shoots, because there's quite a lot of footage from the real race, like the post-race interviews, and you see Brad Pitt walk behind an actual driver, and there's one in particular, Fernando Alonso. He's doing an interview and he sees Brad Pitt walk by and he's like, what the fuck are that? Because he's all dressed up as a driver, but they're doing it because they're going to have the real Formula One drivers as background actors in this film.
They made sure that with whatever they were doing, they want to make sure the racing sequences are as realistic as possible. And this is how they did it. Because who would believe Brad Pitt as a Formula One race?
Well, that's
racer?
The thing. But
he does most of his own driving, mind you. He does do most of his own driving.
But it's not a Formula One car.
It's a modified Formula 2 car, no?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the difference is, but...
Massive difference.
Okay.
Massive difference of speed.
One goes beep, beep, and the other goes honk, honk.
Well,
I have no idea.
Formula One cars require a tremendous amount of physical strength to drive. The G's you pull in that if you go full send, it's tough. I mean, Formula 2 cars, they're tough as well, but they're easier to drive. And he wouldn't have been driving it full send anyway in the scenes that he's been doing. You know, he would have been going a lot power right down sort of thing, you know, to not kill himself. But it is interesting they went through all this effort to make it look realistic, but then you have a really old man trying to fight for the championship. It's like, well, that is not realistic. You're going up against young'uns like Max Verstappen, who's also, you know, part of this film, I think, in some way, shape or form, because again, it's the rest of the grid. And it's like, why didn't you not get someone a bit younger? Why have you got this, you know, how old was Brad Pitt? Was he in his 60s?
He's 61. He's 61.
There you go. You wouldn't have a 61-year-old
in
the car.
But the thing is, my understanding is he plays a mentor to a rookie, Joshua Noah Pierce.
Something like that, yeah, which is the other driver, I think, in his team.
Right. So
but it's
he
still
plays
weird
the
that
mentor to them.
Yeah, but he's still also competing. It's both of them. There's two cars to a team.
Gotcha.
So he's the other driver, which is still odd, I think. So
look, I have a prediction right now before we go on to this ridiculously short trailer, that there's going to be a career-altering race, there's going to be a love interest, and there's going to be some cameos. Because without all that, no one's going to see this movie. Let's watch the trailer, shall we?
Yeah, okay. So that was super, super short. Has it? Not for me. Right. Now it's back after technical difficulties. Always good fun.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. We just finished watching the trailer. I have no idea what we were talking about. But
Brad
yeah.
Pitt, 61, and he has a mentor, Joshua Noah Pierce. And you were telling me that there are two people per team, so they're racing
Yes.
together.
Yeah, so in Formula One, there are 10 teams usually. I would assume in this film there's going to be 11 teams because the team in question with Brad Pitt will be the 11th team. But every team has two cars, two drivers. So it is both a drivers' championship sport and a team championship
Okay.
sport. Yeah, there's two championships
Okay.
up
So
for grabs.
I'm going to test your knowledge here because I don't know anything about Formula One, and you are a huge fan.
I
So
am.
do you know who Lewis Hamilton is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Formula One, 7-time Formula One champion, right?
Yeah,
Well,
basically eight, but
he
yeah,
is a producer in this movie.
he is. Yeah,
Yeah, so he's ensuring the race is that's depicted as true to life, which is good for fans.
yeah.
I believe they
He's
got
done a
Brad
big part
Pitt
in it.
in this to get people to watch. As a matter of fact, within the first 10 seconds of the trailer, there's Brad Pitt all sprawled out shirtless, which will make every girl who has a boy wanting to go see the movie, it's going to turn into a date night just from that trailer. The first
Yeah,
10
probably.
seconds seeing him shirtless, that'll do it for a lot of people. So, and do you know the name Max Verstappen?
Yep, I know Max
Okay.
Verstappen.
He is apparently in the movie as well.
I think all of them are in the movie. All of the
He
current drivers, I think, are in it.
he might be portrayed as a villain in the film, spoiler alert. So,
Yes, because he is basically
that's
the
what I
villain of
know.
Formula One right now. So yeah, so with Lewis at the helm, because there's
Okay.
massive rivalry between Lewis and Max,
Okay.
in real Formula One. So it wouldn't surprise me with Lewis at the helm that they portray Max and Red Bull, the team that he drives for, as the villains, but quite
Okay.
deservedly so as well. Fuck them.
Okay.
They deserve to be the villains. They're cheating
Okay.
scumbags every single time. They cheat, they moan,
How
they
do
cry.
you cheat on a Formula One race? Like, I don't understand how that's even possible. Do they like cut their brake lines? Like, what do you do to
Illegal
cheat?
parts on the car to give you an advantage.
Ah, so that's how you do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's lots of talk about stuff that was on that Red Bull. Red Bull also breached the cost cap that's in place. They overspent on their car and just got a slap on the wrist, but that has given them a dominant car for the past 3-4 years.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of stuff that's gone on. There's a saying that Max um is a 3-time, what is he? Is it 4-time world champion now? I think it is. I think it's free. Hang on, let me just Google this. MaxiPad Verstappen World Championships. He's got 4. Right, so there's a saying that the first 3 he got were not earned. They were gifted to him. His very first one, there was massive controversy with the FIA race director who did something against the rule book that gave Max a advantage on the last 2 laps of the final race. If that didn't happen, Lewis would have won his 8th victory, which is
Okay.
why we say he's actually an 8-time world champion, because if things were all done fair and square, he would have won it.
This is
Um,
like a soap opera.
yeah, it gets dramatic. His second one also then was because of the breaching the cost cap, giving him a car that was just no one could touch. He wasn't challenged, and it was no different for the third year. Either there was something dodgy going on the third. I can't remember what it was in the third year, but something was. But last year, his fourth one, that's the first time he's actually had to properly fight for it. It got very close to losing it to Lando Norris and McLaren. So that's probably the first one he actually deserved to win.
He's like the Lance Armstrong of Formula One.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong apparently had all of his medals taken away from all the Tour de France's that he had won for illegal performance enhancement situations, just
Yeah.
like what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So, all right, would you see this in the
I
movies, or are you boycott? No, of course you would. But like, don't you think what moral standard here would be? I am not going to support this. I am not going to give them my money.
no.
Stream it for free.
I don't know. So I would be up for seeing it, but it would depend if someone who's also interested in Formula One wants to go see it as well, because I don't know that many people that would also go to see such a thing in cinema. So that's part of the problem, right? But I do enjoy Formula One style films. What a really, really good film is Rush, that has Chris Hemsworth in it, who plays James Hunt, and somebody else who plays
It
Niki
all goes
Lauda.
back to Marvel. Go on.
Yeah, but those two were massive rivals back in the day, like back in the 70s, perhaps it may have been. Very, very different era of Formula One, because Formula One's been going on for, oh, God knows. I had no idea how long. 50 years, 60 years, something like that. Maybe 70 years. I don't know. Very long time. It's been on a very, very long time. And that's a very, very good film. That's a really, really good film. I enjoyed that. So I reckon I would enjoy this new Formula One film. And I do support Lewis Hamilton as well. So it'd be interesting to see what he's produced. But I don't know whether I will see it in cinema, because it would depend if someone wants to go. I might see if my parents want to go, because they also watch Formula One. And we always then discuss, and we support the same driver in the same team. So I might see if it's something that we go and see together in the summer when it comes out. But so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not against seeing it, but I'm also not going to be, racing to the cinema on release day like I do with a lot of other stuff.
Nice pun. I like that.
You see what I did there?
Were you that? You're not that smart when it comes to this stuff.
What do you mean I'm not that smart?
How long did it come to you? Like, how long did it take to come to? I'm not going to race to the theater to see it.
It was instant.
No, it wasn't. All right.
It was right in the moment.
I have no interest. I really don't.
Shock.
There wasn't. You know what? The 2.2 seconds of seeing Brad Pitt shirtless wasn't enough for me. I have Twitter if I want to see those things. I have Twitter. We're good. So
really, that's where you go for that sort of thing. Twitter.
Well, I will say there. Here, especially in Florida, they banned a lot of that stuff. So you got to go where you got to go. So, no, I have no interest in seeing this movie in a movie theater. I'm not streaming it. I reckon if we're ever in the same place and time that it's playing, I will be making pancakes and you'll be watching it in the other room.
That's good old Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Yes.
Watch our podcast.
We celebrate Pancake Day.
Yeah. That's it. And we have just recently recorded a podcast about Mardi Gras and the insanity in New Orleans. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be out towards the end of February. So probably about a couple of weeks from when you're watching this, or when this was released, depending on when you're watching it. But have a look at our podcast. Subscribe, because that always helps us. That grows our channel, supports what we're doing. Check out our other reaction videos as well. They're probably just as spicy as this one. And finally, come have a look at our Patreon, because we have lots more behind the scenes content in there that you can get that nobody else can get. So yeah,
it gets pretty wild. All right. Well, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we look forward to you hearing from you in the comments.
And it's a lights out and away we go.
Woo!